Hello, 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 and welcome. This is Jolene with the Jewel Design, and it's Friday! Friday! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another sort of craft and chat today. We're going to go back and open up the Book Lover Journal that I started, I feel like forever ago. Oh my gosh. I think I did the digital kit late spring, early summer. I started working on it. Gail Agustinelli found it, found the kit and fell in love with it and made one, a simple naked journal for her daughter or daughter-in-law. Everybody really loved the kit. It's still for sale, in my Etsy shop as a digital kit. It was something that I felt I wanted another option to journal books. So if you're a book lover, you love the imagery, you love the feel of old books. I love the fact that I found a lovely set of clip art, watercolor clip art that was books in floral, and it was great at the time. It was sort of a springy summer feel. And so I made the whole kit out of it because I wanted to review and document and sort of, mark the things that I had read. Well, a little easier said than done. One, it takes me forever to read a book because I'm always busy. Or I pile through them, and then I can move on to the next one, and I forget I should go back and review. So I have a book from my Porch Prints journal that I made for that purpose, and I barely touched it. So I figured I would finish this one, and I would sell it off hopefully soon in the new shop. And, and then I could always make myself a new one later. That easy, right? So I have this gorgeous tea-dyed satin ribbon that came in one of my tea-dyed kits that I bought from a Etsy shop. So it's a perfect color for it. I love it, and it keeps it simple to keep it closed. To this gorgeous journal cover. We took really thin pressboard, and I covered it with tea-dyed paper, tissues, a canvas printable canvas paper or page that I printed one of the collage pages on. I even sewed the back a little bit to keep it reinforced. I didn't do it to the front due to the fact it was covered, and wasn't sure if I was going to grommet in there. But we have a slightly layered collage here on the front. Loving it. I think it looks really, I just love the colors of it. So the inside has, a belly band pocket here. We will probably decorate up this journaling large envelope, my scalloped clutch purse envelope, to hold something in it. And I put together the pages. So I had some decorative corner pages. Oh yeah, see, there's paper. See, I'm wondering. This one I can hide in the corrugated, so that's going to be fun. But I had both book, the book collage page, floral book images, bottom, top, or middle of, half pages. I had plain pages in a number of colors and sets. And then I had collage pattern papers to go with this. And so today I figured we would, on some of those pages that, not so much the writing ones, because that's what we want to do, our reviews or your thoughts or list of books that you read, we were going to put some, I love the vellum on this one. This one's cute. They don't line up, but it is cute to have that one there, and then you have the vellum version on this side. The vellums came out really pretty. I figured we would put some of the digital design ephemera that's created for the kit. We would get those plopped in place today. Get them inked, get them glued, get them layered with some lace and trim so that they were ready to go. So then I think Monday, at least that's my goal, we're going to put together some grungy ephemera that uses up the fussy cuts and the little die embellishments to make some stuff to go in all these pockets. So just want to really quickly throw you through this so you can sort of see what the kit looked like, what the digital kit looks like, and how the pages were run. Now I believe I printed every single page and then put one of the 2 or 3 backings on it, because we have a dark version, a light version. One's vertical, one might be horizontal. We have the piano papery written note version, and then you have pretty much the ability to have either a beige or a light. How's it in beige? It's like a peachy colored or a light colored writing page. And so we we definitely put that out. I have this in here to remind me. I don't know what exactly. I thought I wanted to do something with that. So I'm going to leave it there, but it's going to be probably Monday where we're going to tea dye and spackle and stamp and have some fun with it. This one I'm hoping to do a tuck and a pull out, so that's probably a bigger one that we'll work on. Oh, it's so cute. I come out here, my little girl, my little kitty cat hears my voice. So, you know, we have, you know, the pages, the papers, and in the back here, we started the process, or I started the process, but I think we're going to put a number of these. I have the journal card sleeve. Journal cards or tags, you can put in them, so I glued it down to the page, and I have all these lovely pieces that I want to put in here. I think we have, you know, this double-sided that I'm going to leave open so you can write in it. To tuck in, we have a journal card. We have one of the weaved journal cards that I did way back then. So I'm loving that. See, it's backed and a large tag. So this one lets you, depending on how tight you fold it, it really does leave you a lot of room to, you know, to really fill any area. Whether you leave it open and you just tuck it into a pocket and you have all the stuff, you know, wrapped in it as in the sleeve, or in this case, like I glued it down on the back page. So today we are going to be utilizing and actually using and playing with the digital ephemera it comes with. That's what we're doing today. It's Digital Ephemera Day. And figured we'd chat and we hang and, you know, just get this part done so that we could do a little bit more, what's the word? I don't know. You know, ways to, no, I wouldn't say quite mixed media, but sort of mixed media and grungy, antique-y, whatever decor, you know, on Monday. So I'm hoping that's the goal the next couple days with my, oh, they did not cut right. With my, whoops, let's not use those scissors. I'm getting in big trouble. Sorry, I hear the cat. I think she comes out here just to irritate me. It's fine when she lays in her box. It's a little different when she decides she thinks she should go play in the piles that I have. I have, you know, boxes that are laid out a certain way in my garage to let me organize and use stuff, and she likes to climb it like it's a mountain or a tree and just goes to town on it. So how are we all doing? I can't believe it's just another week gone already. It doesn't take long. This weekend is what, the 13th and 14th or something like that. So we're already, you know, coming up on the halfway mark. Kids are off again already. Like we're gonna have a 3-day weekend. It's like, you guys just went back to school. What were you thinking? But it's Martin Luther King, so what can you do? We have the right to have that off, right? Or I don't know if we have the right, but I shouldn't say that, but apparently yes. The adults, I guess, have that right, so the teachers get that as a federal holiday. Something like that. I don't know. Yep, so I can't believe, middle of the month already, and like I just feel like I'm just getting back in the swing of things, and, you know, I am working on the new store, so in between everything else, even though I need to create stuff, I need to make these journals, and I need to make these ideas in ephemera to put in the store. I gotta get the store up and running. So I got that started. So at least the process, the process is in play, which is great. You know, got a domain name and got this, you know, who's gonna help host the ordeal. So luckily it's inexpensive at first when you get it going, so I don't have to spend an arm and a leg, because that's the whole point, is to try to get, you know, be able to sell you stuff to you guys. Both supplies, bundles, materials and handmade items without, you know, I don't want to have to pass on a bunch of fees onto you guys and still make money. I've got to get to that point where, you know, I have to stay home and finish raising my kids and be there for them and taxi them around, and, you know, I've got to be able to run this from home, I guess, and be able to work the hours I need to work when they're, you know, off and about, or, you know, in between they're running around. So we are working on it. So yeah, definitely today it's inking and talking and chatting and gluing stuff together. And as far as I know, because I'm using the other envelope as a tuck pocket flip out. Oh, cat, really? Sorry guys, hold on one second. I am going to pause you because I don't want to deal with this. Hold on one moment. I promise to pause. Okay, got her down, and I'm trying to entice her with paper. It's so funny. We have a magnetic strip that keeps the iRobot Shark, you know, motorized vacuum thing from going to certain areas. And we've had to put one in front of my daughter's door because it would keep going into my daughter's room, and it'd be knocking over the cat bowl, the water bowl, like just making a complete mess out of her room, trying to eat cords. It was terrible. So it works for that, right? And, you know, but for the month of December, we didn't really have Sharky running. We call him Sharky. Sharky Jr., actually, because he's the second one we've owned. And, they keep Sharky, you know, he gets into too much Christmas. So we decided to yeah, turn them off. And so anyway, because of that though, for some reason, Kiki here thinks it's fun to play with that magnetic strip. Well, it's not super magnetic, but it's, slightly magnetic. Enough to tell Sharky not to go there. And, she likes to play with it. I mean, to the point where she chews on it. I'm not sure how it's super thick rubber, so I guess it must feel good, but she thinks that's the best toy ever. So, of course, last night we go to bed, and where'd you go, Screwball? Oh, she doesn't want to be out here with me. Fine. She came down for me right away, thank goodness, but she decided, nope, she doesn't want to sleep in her. Why don't you want to sleep in your bed? Alright, well, she has a nice bed, a beautifully, crocheted a blanket or two, little ones to fit in her chewy tray box. It's perfect size for her. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this one down because I feel that we have another envelope that we're using for a flip out tuck spot. So we're going to use this one as it is needed. So we may end up making some really fun pieces that may feel really nice to be in here. And so we're going to leave it open to write on. You may decide to put some kind of journal cards or notes or something in there. So we're going to leave that one be. Now that is something that there's a few pieces in here I think are definitely going to go for next week where we're clustering, junk mail, packing pieces. I mean, this is from a box. I don't even know which box or bag it came in, but I pulled it apart. So we're going to layer some of the fussy cuts that come with this on that. Yeah, believe me, I have my stash of things over here, but we have little, stamps and circles and clusters that I will probably, we'll decorate that one up with and do that. And so probably most of you would rather see that than what I'm doing today, but I have to get these pockets done so I know exactly how much ephemera we need to make. And I see I'm going to have to do some, I didn't do it beforehand and I thought we're doing okay, but there's a few pages that may have a little bit of white on them and I'm going to do a little bit of inking later, especially when I'm going to sell this. So, that's all right. So anyway, so we got that to work on. But, so yes, the store is not up and running yet. It's going to take us probably a month or so, month to two for me to get it all situated. And, not just situated, but, and stuff to put in it. We've got to buy some stuff, supplies. So if you have been doing this for some time and you have lost, a venue, a customer, a client, something where you can't get, the items that you love or items that you've had in the past, let me know. Maybe there's something I can get a hold of. Maybe someone doesn't carry it anymore. They don't want to carry it, close their shop, whatever, I don't want to take it away from anybody, but there's going to be competition. I mean, I won't be the only one carrying something, but, it's what it is. So I'll try never to step on anybody's toes if I can help it, but, if there's product out there and they're willing to let you have, they're willing to sell to wholesale dealers or whatever, then, that's what I need to do. So, but yeah, there's something out there that you guys, don't want to buy in bulk. You just want to buy like half a dozen or a dozen of something or 4 of something, depending on the size. If there's something, you would like me to try to find to carry in the shop. There's going to be things that, maybe they were a wonderful find for us and we just have more than we need. It may be something that we just feel it's beneficial, like, okay, it's worth buying that little bit of bulk because we can put it in the shop. I mean, like, I'm in desperate need of bigger paper clips. I found this one and I was like, okay, that's the size I want, but I want an antique. I love the antique coloring like we do with this one, because it really works good with everything. I love the antique, but they're not big enough. Sometimes I feel they're not big enough for some of the hidden paper clips that we do. So, I mean, you can find these, but it's like, 500 paper clips. And you're like, do I really want 500 paper clips for the rest of my life? No, not really. But if you could get a dozen or 2 dozen or half a dozen or something, you might be really excited to buy that. So, I want things like that from, file folders, colored file folders, and fun things like that. Simple supplies in place where you can just buy what you need. And then, but we have some fun things up our sleeves too. We want to put bundles and papers and things together and, let you guys purchase those things too. So whether it's from our personal stash, whether it's from a collection, or, whatever it may be. So, but we have to get that stuff together. So it's finding it, buying it, supplying it, packaging it, taking the photographs of it, getting it listed. So it is going to be a little bit of time. But in the meantime, you know, myself and even, you know, Lorette over at Vintage Paper Girl, you know, we're continuing to make handmade stuff because those will go in the shop. You know, we're not, we're, for the most part, you know, the handmade stuff will not be in Etsy anymore. It's just too expensive right now. And I found less expensive fees. So that's a perk. And then, what else is the other thing? Oh, and just the PayPal thing is okay, but, you know, PayPal even changed their parameters for the new year, for 1099s. And so I just got lucky this past year, but, you know, we didn't do it for very long, but, I sort of want to keep it through a shop. It's easier for tax records and stuff like that. And it's consistency for you guys. You know, if it's in the shop, it's ready to go. Because sometimes things happen, and so I need, you know, if we've got a little bit more control of what's going on and time frames, you guys get a more consistent, you know, customer service from us. So, and so I can help my mom out too a little more too if we get things going where I have access to it, and once it's done, you know, you guys can go purchase it when she says, okay, it's done, it's going to be in the shop, then, you know, you pop over there, which means I have it in my hands, and I can, you know, get it out to you guys right away, and all that jazz. So, but yes, we've got, okay, that is going to drive me insane. I wish we could they need a better way to do this, but I think I'm trying to do it with 2 pair of scissors too. I always normally cut these together, but I realized that when I did it, I didn't have the what's the one? The outline cut out. That is only getting funkier as we go, isn't it? Jeez. There's probably a hole punch for this somewhere. 10 to 1, right? So yeah, both sides are sort of that way. I can see where I didn't cut very well along the border. And I'm like, oh, wow, I can't have that. I know I'm probably out of camera too, sorry. No nitty gritty right now. So that's all the fun stuff going on right now, but I wanted to get, you know, new stuff, and I'm looking for a new eco-dyed venue, is that the right word? Shop. I can't remember. I know my mom was buying some stuff from one lady, but she herself, you know, took a hiatus during Christmas. My personal one I love to work with, she needed to take a break, and you know, in that department, and I was like, ah. So I'm looking for new. She came back out. You can't resist. She hears my voice, so she wants to be wherever there's wherever there's like something going on. She wants to join us. She joins me and my daughter a lot. My daughter will get on a tangent and will be following me around the house and chatting my ear off. And so if we stick put long enough, she'll come and she'll sit on the kitchen counter, or she'll sit on the bathroom counter, or, you know, she'll come up and sit up on the bed. And I'm like, she's so cute. She's such a little social butterfly. Even though she doesn't want to be held, and she's sort of, you know, she's snickery about it all. I'm like, okay, so we have our file folder, sort of journaling card, which I think is great. It does have some new hues. It has some purples and yellow lines through it, but I think there's, you know, it's beneficial that way. She's going to drive me insane. Okay, so we have that, and I think we're going to put in the front pocket. It just fits. It does match, I'm afraid. I'm trying not to do that with my ephemera, if I can help it. I try to put... Are you pawing at the back door, silly? Okay, hold on. We just can't get away from this, can we? She wants something. Yeah, the cats are getting quite needy lately. And I'm like, girl. All right, I won't pause it this time. Just give me 1 second. Talk among yourselves, as Miss Gail will say. I'm not that far, but hearing my voice is a different thing. I don't know how well that phone picks up my voice, as I have to walk around the L shape of my workspace and get to the back door. Okay. So sometimes I try not to get too matchy-matchy when I'm doing certain bits of ephemera. And, you know, sometimes if it really bugs me, I may move things around. But right now, due to the size, I felt we were good. Now, it's whether maybe I'll decorate a little with you guys so that we're not completely sitting here bored out of our minds, right? So I love my double-sided, or my stackable corners. You can make them as wide out as you want. Decorate a corner to hide the fact. You can make them really tight so they fit within each other. You know, I don't do a lot of them, but sometimes I'll do just the single corners, and I've stacked them up. So you have this constant zigzag, which is doable with some paper and stuff. So there are fun ways to use these cornered stackables. And I definitely think, yeah, now that we really, we have this in here, I definitely feel like we need to decorate the top of this one so it has some pizzazz. It needs some pizzazz. Okay, so. Sorry, that was a weird noise. Sometimes I can hear the bells from, I was trying to see. It's a really pretty ribbon I got. I'm finding stuff, in my stash, and that's the whole point. So I thought there was flowers on it, but not really. It's just sort of bleh. Okay, not as... I thought there was... Oh, there it is. I'm like, I thought I saw a flower. I did. It's just not where I thought it was. All right, hold on. Let me see. I want to use the brown, definitely somewhere. And a little bit of rose. I'm like, that's what I was looking for. I saw the rose, and I thought, ooh. But it's really thin, and I'm not sure... A little much. Okay. Not much, but it's like, yeah, quite what I'm looking for. Gosh, I keep forgetting to close this. I got my new finally got my new thing of fabric tack, right? So it all but fills this up. Fills up a sugar bell. I had to open up a new sugar bell because I could not, and I still can't, get this part of my sugar bell off the old one. I was able to open up the top, and I got some of it in the new bottle. But the rest of it, I finally had to put hot water and soap in here, and I was able to pull it off the sides of the bottle, and it made this ball. And at first, I could pull some of it out, but the moment it started cooling, I couldn't get it out. And it's so, I don't know, not give. It doesn't have much give. I cannot yank it through this hole. So I'm super frustrated because I have a bottle that I can't use because I cannot get, and I'm just going to rip this probably. It is so glued. I think from being on its side, being upside down, I have pretty much sealed this to this. So if anybody has any ideas, I mean, probably hot water for a while if I can get deep enough. I'm getting down to that. I need a hot water bottle, something deep enough to put it in to soak it, and it might. But I have a feeling I've probably put a hole in something somewhere. And I don't know. It may be a wash. I'm sort of bummed. I may keep the top just so I have a secondary ordeal. But I think I've lost a bottle. So this one, I'm making sure I'm not super tight on it. I'm gonna be really careful with it. But one bottle only fills one Fabri-Tac. Only barely fills one sugar bell bottle. So I'm gonna have to go buy another one. And like Candace, through Amazon, it came spilled. Even though it looked like it was sealed on the top, which is funny. The seal's in the bottle, but it must get a tiny little air bubble, and during travel, it's on its side, and it bursts. It bursts out. I don't get it. I have no clue why. So, yeah. See, I've already changed my nails. I think I had the pale lavender pink ones. I lost a gem. I have to put a new one on. I have them all over the place. I have gems. I can totally put any gem I want on that. I should glue it down. So yeah, I had to change my nails already, because the other ones were bugging me. Well, my thumbs wouldn't stay on. My thumbs are the most abused fingers. So, anyway, I'm jabbering about nothing. What did I do with my... Oh, it's underneath me. So anyway, I haven't decided what to do with that. Maybe we'll see what comes up with this one. I don't know about the file. Sometimes I turn those into mini notebooks, because they're fun to use. Now, this could have some potential up here. I can even layer it with a little green, layer it with a little rose over it. I love this brown. I don't know what to do with it, though. I'm thinking about I'm actually thinking about layering some ribbon up here. Like you would do with happy planners. So, yes, you're going to hear me, if you're new to me, I will refer occasionally to a planner idea. Those are in happy planners, bullet journaling, any of that. We do a lot of, we'll use washi tape, and we make washi tapes here. I mean, we all make the digital washi tape, and we put it on the double-sided sticky tape or whatnot, and we use it here. But I like the idea sometimes of different layers and layering up materials. So I'm thinking of doing that, the green and the rose on there, and then maybe we could offset it with something on the side. So there you go. You get to see a little decoring too. I guess we'll do a little decorating too, because I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I think we need to do a little something. Oh, this one's so pretty. Wonder if that's not gonna be pretty. We do the 3 layers. Brown, the green, and the rose, and then sort of offshoot this one on the side. Sort of bring some stuff up to the top so you can see the tag. I always love decorating the bottom of my tags, but then they're always in the pockets. Like, you never see those, and that's my biggest, not trial, what's the word? challenge is to not keep decorating the bottom of the tag, or just the bottom of the tag, because then the top of the tag is, you know, plain, and I like this one a lot. I'll pull the colors, so let's do that. Okay. Looks like a lot of my fussy cuts did get back, so if we do see a bit of it on the back side, we'll be okay. Okay, so, but anyway, yes, please, if you have any materials, items, things that you're out of, things that you want to buy from. I mean, I know if you're out of it already, I can't help you, but maybe you've been looking for something and you can't find it anymore. Or, you know, a place you can't find it is Amazon, and you're just like, I'm done. And I don't want to be buying that much, or, you know, whatever. So, I'm actually thinking of going I was going to go the flat end, but I think I'm going to let it be a little bunched up so that we have some ups and downs, highs and lows. We're going to do an interesting little layering here. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, well enough, huh? Let me see if we can move it a little bit. I know it changes the light. I did notice if I zoom in, it goes dark, at least on my phone. Now, with you guys, I don't know as much, but I noticed that when I zoom out, where you get more of my thing, you get more light. So it's sort of interesting. I'm like, okay then. We're going to cut it off because I don't want to... I have a hard time doing something sometimes when I have that excess that I cannot remove and work with. Sort of weird. I'm weird that way. But yes. So yeah. Anyway, please comment down below if you are new to this and you're looking for items. If I'm, you know, I will make a wish list. I am maybe thinking about doing an Amazon affiliation if we decide we don't want to buy a lot of stuff, or we find things that are just individuals here and there. You know, maybe it's worth just putting it as an affiliation so that you guys, when you purchase it, that helps bring in a little money that way. I gotta find ways to monetize this year. New year. New year, new goals. Has everybody picked the word of the year? I know last year I had one. Of course I had one. But it made sense because I had a lot going on. But this year, I think I have a lot of things that are going on, so I can't think of just one word. I can't seem to figure out... We're going to offset these a little bit. I cannot figure out a word. I don't know. My daughter had to pick one, too. My youngest. Her history teacher was like, pick a word for the year. And she's like, what am I supposed to do? She's like, well, I want to get better at things. And I said, okay, well, then your word is better. You know, to better yourself, to better communicate, to... be a better motivator, to find better motivation, you know, like, it's just better, better. So I can either go this way and then, there it is. We overlap it a little bit. I'm trying to figure out if I want to hide all my flowers or do I want to put it up here because we already have something here. So we're sort of balancing the ordeal. Or do I go more off the page here? But see, now I feel like we have too much matchy, and I should have put the brown in between them. Eek! Oh no! Or I cut this really small so it definitely fits within the green. But now I think we need lace behind it. Yep, I don't like it that matchy. Oh my goodness. Okay, I have really thin lace. I don't think I need to do that. I used to put it on its side because it was getting so low. But I think that's what got me into trouble. Is that by doing that, it ended up putting too much glue around the edges. And so I'm really going to have to keep an eye on, like, every time I'm done using it, make sure I open it up, make sure I wipe things down, and then put it back in. Okay, I have this lovely lace, which was one of my favorites. Whatever last project I was working on. Lost track of the projects. And let's see if that helps break it up a little bit. Yeah, we'll do that so we get another layer. I mean, it's beige, it sort of blends in. But I don't get too heavy. This one is lighter, but I think it's like too much. Well, I could go across, do a little something here, and then put that there. I actually sort of like that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're going to glue. Lots and lots of glue. And make sure I have this in the right way, because I always put my laces on backwards. I am terrible at that. I figured out after the fact I cut it, then I'm like, oh, I need the other side. Well, that's at the wrong angle now. Anyone else do that? Laces and something else. There's laces and something else that I always can never tell. It takes me forever to, like, back and forth before I realize which side's the correct side. I'm like, oh, there it is. Okay. There we go. Get some nice little layers going on here. Trying not to get too many scraps, but I keep these little scraps too. This is what kills me. But I will do little layering. I'll do itty bitty bits of layers, a little offshoot. It might just be the corner that needs to look like there's lace behind the whole thing. And I need, you know, that little corner peeking out, and that's where I use it up. I know there's a lace challenge out right now. There's a use up your lace or lace scrap stash thing. I think Laurette did a really pretty coaster lace challenge the other day. I don't know who's running the challenge, though. I am totally lost on that one. Afraid I'm not up to par on that part, but yeah, I know there's a lace challenge going on, and there's a use it up lace challenge and stuff like that. So we're going to do that right there. Of course, I have it all exactly where I want it, but let's see if we can do this. So that we'll get some decor down, we'll get some pockets in place. A little bit of everything today. Definitely a craft and chat. You know, I don't have any real tutorials. We are just using what's already pre-made for us. So if you're new to journaling, there are lots of kits, including my own, in my Etsy shop that, you know, have things like this where tags of different sizes, pockets, journal cards, file folders, belly bands, little things like this we call fussy cuts or embellishments. These all allow you to just sort of cut them out, ink them up, layer them as you see fit, and, you know, tuck them into your pages. As long as you ink them and decorate them a little bit, as you put them in the pockets and whatnot in your journals, you know, we are content with you using them. Especially if you're new to the system, when you take these things, you buy kits from us and you print them out and you do nothing to them but maybe cut them out and you try to sell them back off as a bundle, is frowned upon by most of us. We really want you to decorate them and make something, you know, make something like we're doing today. We're decorating something up and then selling what you've created from what we've given you digitally. We want you to make something pretty. We want you to enhance and show off what inspired you to buy the kit to begin with. So, well, there we go. I like that. I feel like I'm like a dangle. I don't, you know, I had a bunch of, oh, I do. Hold on. I don't know exactly yet, but I want to. That's the other thing I think I need to get is more charms, more of these types of things. Ooh, maybe. Love, breathe, hope. Love is sort of good. It's the right color. I want to overdo this one, but I'm sort of enjoying this one. Yeah, ballpoint. I have a lot of ballpoint bulb pins. Oh, we should probably match that one. Luckily, I have all the antique stuff. Most of them. I have the gold one, but I need the antique bronzy one. I don't know if I have one. There's the gold. Sometimes I end up using a lot of the antique bronze-looking ones because I just have a tendency of going that way, but I don't know if I have any. This is all of my, you know, gold and bronzy stuff. Found everything else in here. I've got the... Ooh, I could do it that way. I don't know, that won't work. So I can put one of the brads in there, but I think that doesn't work on this case. It's not a... Got the brads for it, but I don't have the ballpoint. The ball pen points. I got the dark brown. I guess it's just the gold. Alright, I guess I'm getting low on some things. But yeah, this is my earth metal, you know, the gold, the antiques, the whatever. I put those in there. And this is, you know, it's a book lover journal. So, you know, that sort of works. I'm down to my last charms. We bought those probably this time last year, before the holidays. And let's do this. I gotta bend, but there we go. Instead of a charm or, you know, whatever, just straight at the top, we can do the bulb pen. It sits there. I love that. That's sort of pretty. And I'm just not overthinking it. I'm just I'm trying not to overthink it, right? We did a little here. But we got some layers. We've got a fussy. We have a charm off a bulb pen. And we fancied up a journal card. It makes it a little heavy on the top. But you can still easily now write across the majority of the back from pretty much this line down. You can write on the whole back of it. And it's really pretty on the front. Well, there you go. I think that's a great start to the year, right? Or the book. I mean, the front cover is great. Yeah, I love the front cover. It works beautifully. I'm actually really happy with the front cover. It came out really cute. Personally, I mean, I love it. Just all the different, I've got different vellums and tea-dyed parchment paper and book page, and that's actually from a book, which I think that came from a 1940s. I think it's in the 40s, 1940s book. So, just enough to where it's not a really big deal. But, you know, it's not, you know. Alright, so there we go. Now, this you felt was getting too flimsy or too top heavy. You could put another piece of coffee dyed or vintage paper back here to reinforce it and still give you that writing space. So, there's always ways to back these and make them stronger or enhance it more. So there we go. So we now have a nice feel of florals. I will have to see as we're working on things, maybe the little cluster can be end up on here. But there we go, people, isn't that, ladies and gentlemen? Say people because I do have a few guys. Oh, and I hope that is gorgeous. I love it. Oh, I hope I'm willing to give this one up. I don't know. May not be so kind. I love how the vellum came out though. It's super cool. The vellum actually, yeah, for a while there, I was doing really good with. I had just the right vellum I was pulling out of my stash, and it was printing beautifully. But then I did hit a slight pocket there where I was like, that's not working as well. So I think we're gonna try to do, if I can find it, I started this is what was left over from the last weaved journal card. So I have some leftovers. So I'm probably we're gonna do something with this and get another one going, hopefully in this pocket. Now this was started off as, when I first made these, it was just another coin pocket. And it has a gusset on the bottom, and it has a gusset on the side. Technically, you would fold that back, and you would glue it down as just another pocket. Now the problem is we all print on this side. We all have a tendency of putting something on this side. And I always thought it was really sort of a bummer to have to print there and then glue it down. And one day, I don't know what made me think about it, I was watching, I think, Amy at Crafty Cat do all kinds of really cute page-over, fold-over pockets. And I was working on these kits, and I was like, what if I, put the graphics out all the way to the edge here to give us a wider pocket, put the thumb holes in it, still use the gusset on the bottom because we do want to have a slightly thicker pocket. So you can get a little bit more in there maybe. Or not feel so tightly, like it's such a tight fit. And then on this side, instead of losing it, we fold it over the page and we could tuck a little something in it. So, we have a side pocket and we have, a top-down pocket. And it all folds around any page that works for you. And I think I have one set where I do have it where you can tuck it down, but I think right now I've been doing a lot of side ones for these guys. But I love it as a fold-over page pocket. And so I thought here was a good spot because we're not really blocking anything up here. Let me back up a little bit now that, nope, the other way. Back up a little, come on. There, see, yeah, and it's so much lighter, at least on my screen. It's hard to find a in between, but I don't want to be off the page. And yeah, there we go. There, sorry. We are going to put it on this bottom corner so it doesn't block this, but we can tuck something in, so we're still getting a writing space. And then this side, we're going to glue this down, and I glue up a little bit up here sometimes. Now, I'm not sure how this new journal card's going to go or anything else, so I think at first I'm not going to glue anything except for the gusset down so things don't fall through. But we're going to leave this all open until I see what I'm putting in it. Then to keep it in place and not have the journal card constantly fall out, then I might glue up a little bit up the side to, give us some space. We'll just see what I end up putting in there. But yeah, I sort of turned these coin, folded pockets into a fold-over page, yeah, something like that. Page fold-over pocket thing. I'm like, so I do go across the top because it is a side tuck on this one. You could leave it open on the top if you wanted to. You could simply just glue down do the bottom and leave the top open and the side open if you wanted. Totally up to you. You could do the bottom here and glue up the seam if it helps you, and that would work also. I'm going to put this down pretty tight, I hope. I'm not going to glue the seam because I do want a little bit of, I think, movement. I've done this though too, and then have it, you know, be a little too tight. But and then yeah, I'm just, I know you can see. Okay, I'm just gluing the gusset here. That's all I'm doing, so that we can tuck something into it, and it doesn't, nothing falls out. I mean, fall over, yeah, fall over, fall out, and that just sort of reinforces it so that we can still tuck stuff into it. Pressing down. It's not too bad out here. We're supposed to get rain today, which for me today, I'm recording on a Wednesday, so we're supposed to get rain later this afternoon and evening, but then it could be like, for us, it could be down to freezing, 31, 32 degrees tomorrow morning, which I hate when it does that. It rains and then freezes. I'm like, I mean, I guess everything's wet, so the plants don't do as bad, but it still irritates me. I'm like, really? Now you can do it as a bone folder. I happen to be using this to try to deal with my glue issue. It's actually pretty thin, so I can actually get a little better into the corners to make sure things are... I always double check because I have a tendency of like over gluing. So if I can pop a little bit of looseness so that I have a better control of what gets put in there, I like to put my, you know, put something, a bone folder, stick, whatever you've got going, one of your things. Usually I put this in there, but sometimes I end up popping my seams completely and I end up ungluing something. So either way, any of these guys, but whatever works. I just happen to have that chopstick I was using. So great to do it though, to make sure that, oh, you see, I'm glad I did it because I just realized that I think my glue had seeped up a little bit from the, you know, the flap and was sticking to the page. So let's do this so it pushes it down, but also opens up anything that it's in my way. So we're going to put this back in here, and now it's going to stay put. I don't need a paper clip because I know what's going on, and that's going to remind me that I have the potential of a larger piece of ephemera. And then we have one of my square journal cards that I believe is in the kit. I know I had a few. I do have an extra side kit for this one. That's just journal cards. I just don't remember which one's which. I don't remember. I think I did. I don't know what I did. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I have them all. I don't know if I did. I thought I did like an extra. I did do an extra sheet. I think these squares and something else are a side note. For a while there, I was doing some journal cards separately because maybe you liked the journal cards to go in eclectic journals, but maybe you didn't want, like, you didn't want the whole kit that's book lovers, but you wanted a little something. I did it with the fairies. I did it with the book lovers. I did it with one other kit, I think, where we have some side ephemera that allows you to buy just a little something to go in a number of your journals, but maybe, you know, you didn't want to make a whole journal out of you know, this. Now I have a tendency of using one kit and using every aspect of it that I can. Though I have to say, during the winter, Christmas and winter, I made a lot of handmade, a lot of scrappy junk mail ephemera, and didn't use up all my digitals. I normally do almost all digital, and I forget to use anything else, and I didn't do that. I think for both my December daily, I barely touched the ephemera. But then again, too, when you're doing a lot of writing in there, like, yeah, I did a lot of writing, so I'm like, oh, I don't need all the ephemera. But, you know, and I didn't, I don't know, even the Christmas one, I really tried to do more, you know, ephemera than anybody could do, and, I didn't use a lot of my pre-made, you know, digital ephemera. So this one will do a little bit of both. We'll use up a lot of the ephemera we have. Now this one, it is a page, we're going to go with some lighter pieces so they do stand out on the darker page. But we're just going to put a pocket in here, one of my square rounded corner pockets. And we're going to pop in another large journal card. So I'm content with that. I'm very happy to do that. But this one is bugging me. I know I just inked it, but I'm finding a lot of lines and I'm like, what is up? I'm like, did I not think to do a lot of cutting on this one? This is a fun one. Someone had a die cut or something to do this kind of pocket with it, and my mom one day was like, you know, I don't have that die cut, and is there any way? And I'm like, yeah. So she gave me some basic dimensions, and I was like, let's go for it. So I started adding them to some of my kits. I have what we call a fancy ephemera set, where it's more double, you know, layered tag pockets and interesting, you know, envelopes and pockets that I don't put in everything. Though these days I think I'm starting to combine the two, so you get a little bit more. I'm probably, if I do any more digitals this year, I'll make sure to combine both my fancier ephemera and the everyday ephemera so that you get a better variety. But I do both. Sometimes journals are just real easy, and this is what they need. They need that basic set of journal cards and, tags and pockets, but then I have, sometimes it's fun to have a single, large tag pocket that, has a window in it, or, has a scallop journal card to go with it, and, things like that. So you will hear me do a lot. I will say journal card instead of journal tag or tag. This is considered a tag that you can journal on, because it looks like a sales tag. We used to do a lot of them where we would get old sales tags and we would decorate them up, and then on the digital side we realized we could make them in all different shapes and sizes, and and have them pre-printed, so you guys could just print them, decorate them up, cut and decorate them up to your liking. So sometimes it's easier. Sometimes it's fun though to find the old tags with the string and all that and decorate them up with scraps and embellishments and fussy cuts and do it that way. So here we do about 46 minutes. Okay, so this one I may not decorate. Let's see if we can get everything glued down first, and then I can come back to it. But this would be the same feel or concept like we did with the other one. But this one I might just more likely put a hole in, and we're going to put some kind of a little tassel concoction of my favorite. I love doing this lace off the top, so we may do that more. That, and I have some gold and pink stuff. So we may do a little bit of combination of fabrics that we're going to tie in and tassel in a hole. I think that's what I want to do with this one. We're going to make it more of a... nope, I want my other one too. I did get that last year. I was super stoked. I did ask for a more of a... oh my gosh, I can't even think of what the name is. But it's a long oval or long rectangle cornered tag punch. It makes it a little easier than the circles to put your lace through. I never get them straight though, I can tell you that for sure. But I like to put the lace and fabrics through here and either tie it up here or just glue it down and have it all fluffy, which I will try to do with you guys before we get done maybe. We'll see. So anyway, that will remind me that I want to do laces and trims up there instead of decorating it, because she's pretty good and she's not super blocked. Like we don't, so this way it gives you maybe a little more writing space to put something in here or put a quote. I'll have to see. I don't know if I have any book lover quotes. I'll have to see. I have a really cool Tim Holtz saying book, clipping sticker book. I look at words. It doesn't really have a salvaged assortment of adhesive backed phrases, words, and numbers. Yeah. So these are good colors. So learning to fly. There are some quotes and stuff from movies and books, so this may be, I like that idea. Do all the good you can. So yeah, I'll put a saying, maybe a quoted saying up here, and we'll put the ribbons on top, and that'll take care of that one. So there we go. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, we're definitely going to have an ephemera day. I love these. These did come from handcrafted by Just Gigi. But, yeah, those are coffee. Those are coffee. Those are coffee day. Now, here's actually the big project in the last one, because this is good. I have quite a gap back there, don't I? Or did I level this out? Yeah, I do have some good gaps. Okay. I feel bad sometimes when I don't. So this one's a big one, and these things just need to be inked back here, and they're all just going to be lovely tucked. And I may put more in there as we're designing stuff, so I don't need to do anything there. This is my next big one. So we have a Totally Instantly Backed journal card, which I will probably glue. I don't think I'll leave this one open. Because the tuck is not going to be very wide, and it's not going to be a very substantial tuck, so we will keep this as a thick journal card, but not much more than that. And I need it, so when I glue it, I will trim off the excess white, which, yeah, well, there's a little bit of the brown here because they're not lining up, and that might be, I think that's my bad on the on the cut and the fold. But that's okay. That's the whole point, is that hopefully, you always hope it's the other way, but, if you have to trim a little, you trim a little, and when you print them, you cut the big rectangle, you fold them in half, you glue them together, you trim it up and ink it, and you have a nice stout double-sided journal card, pretty on one side, writable on the back, and you didn't have to run it back through the printer. So these are what I call my instantly backed journal cards, and laid out ready to go to where, it's just cut, fold, and glue. So that's always wonderful. Now, the big project we'll finish off the day with here is this other envelope that I have. I have a standard for what I call my, not mine, but a 4-flap. I was looking to see what I was doing because I just took that off, didn't I? That needs to open so we don't see it. Okay, of course I should not have taken it off so quickly, so easily. Alright, yes. So I'm taking a 4-flap envelope, which normally you would simply, make sure I got off the page here, you would simply just glue these edges down on these 2 flaps, and you could put a little round thing right here, and you would tuck your top into it to keep it closed, right? Put a little clasp thing right here, and you would have a standard envelope. Cute little flap. You could cut it off. You could do whatever, right? But at times, I do like taking these and making them a fold-out writing space. So, what we're going to do instead, and it is a lot of one on top of the other, but it sort of hides it too. It's sort of a hidden, because it's all the same pattern, but in a different area. It's a hidden open page, and you can write on all of this space. You can attach extra pages, cards. You can flip it open and make, and just have it keep opening up. You can write on it, but you have some room to maneuver. And the best thing to do with these two is that then on the back side where you are gluing it down, is if you don't glue parts of it down, then it becomes that tuck that you need. So we want it to at least, yeah, I'm probably going to glue right here. That way this isn't too thin and it just, falls out. You never want it to fall out. I feel like I need a little more ink up here. I've got a line that I shouldn't have, but And once it's glued down, it's a little hard to ink. So try to make sure you double check all your pieces before you glue them down. That you get everything inked and ready to go, which is what I was trying to do the other day. I got the inside inked for sure, so that you have that, worn look. Which is why I have to be careful because I do have one flap inked, and I didn't want to do these because I wanted you to feel like you had a continuous writing space and you didn't have a worn line going through it. But this one is on the fold and it's going to be on the page, so it's fine. It's all good. Well, I appreciate you joining me today in this little craft and chat. I hope you're all doing really well. I hope the weather's behaving itself. I did see lots of lovely new photos on some of you that I follow on Instagram where everybody is finally getting snow. It's finally arrived. We're cold. Parts of California are getting it. It's just not where I'm at. And, yeah, so I really hope that everybody's, the weather is behaving itself, that everybody's doing well, that everybody's healthy and happy, is back into crafting. It was curious though, because this morning I was, fixing my nails, and I was getting my breakfast. I'm getting a little bit of my last Hallmark fixes. I'm only keeping my Hallmark channel through January. And then I'm like, nah. At this point, they do one new video or one new movie every Saturday. So it's only like four a month. And I'm like, it's really not worth $10 because the rest of it's full of commercials. And I'm like, yep, nope. So anyway, I was getting the last of my January Hallmark fix. If there's any movies I had for Christmas I hadn't watched, stuff like that. So anyway, I was doing my stuff this morning, but I ended up finishing my morning off with crocheting. I found a neighbor gave me a old crocheted panel blanket. Their in-laws had, started this project. No clue what it was. Had no idea how to do it. It's just panel after panels of rows of crocheted stuff. And I was like, oh gosh. She's like, do you do anything? And I'm like, yeah. So then I bought more brown fabric to go with it to try to finish it off. And I finally pulled it out after like, oh gosh, I think I've had it for almost 2 years, guys. It's terrible. Because I'm always working on other projects. But I finally pulled it out and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I cannot figure out what this woman did. I don't know the pattern that she did. She had them all different lengths. And I think I realized after the fact, if I actually laid them out, I think it's one of those where you crochet across the top and each panel is a little longer than the one before. So it'd been like an angle, which really, I guess it could have been a throw. A little hard to what's the word? Use as a blanket. But it could have been like a wall hanging or, yes, you could throw it over something and it would just be pretty and a lot of fringes at the end. And, but she hadn't finished off some of the panels she hadn't finished off. They were all different sizes. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do with this. So I found the two that were close enough and I'm going to work them in, but I had to undo all the rest because I just didn't know what to do with it. So I have plenty of brown and one's chocolatey and one's like standard. Like just a typical brown, and one's a little bit more chocolatey. So I'm coming up with new stitch work and new panels, and so I was working on it. So anyway, I was working on that this morning, and I realized more times than not, besides our journaling crafts, how many of you have other craft projects? What else do you guys do? I would love to find out. Do I happy plan? I journal, or do make journals in ephemera. I crochet. I do what we call diamond painting, which is tiny little drills that are like a paint by number thing, but they're with these little gemmed jewels, or gemmed drills they call them, and I take photos. There's photos, and you do all the little dots, and when you're done you lift it up, and it's like you stand back and you're like, oh my gosh, a gorgeous picture. So yeah, do a number of those, and then on occasion I do adult coloring. I'll color in coloring books, and do my paint by diamond, and I crochet, and I journal, and I of course love happy planning. So I'm curious out there, besides that, and reading books, of course. What else do you ladies do? And gentlemen, what other crafts do you guys like doing? What else keeps your time and attention? That did not go all the way. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, what else do you guys do? Now, I haven't decided how to clasp this yet. I was debating on a few different ways, and now that I've got it done, I don't know if I can do it. I could put a piece of, could hole punch something right here, put a knot in it, bring it over, and find a way to, tie something in. I did that for the Christmas one. I did find a way to tie in one of these, because I really don't want to put anything here that would not allow you to open it up. So I will have to find a way to, maybe just, we're going to have to put something here, a little small piece here. Look, I could put, because it won't interfere with any of the writing. Maybe we'll put a little wax seal here with a ribbon that can come out, wrap around, and can either meet up here or in the back, but we could put another dot here. Maybe I put a hole and I put a ribbon, knot and bow, and we can have them meet up here and tie, and then when you untie it, everything stays in place, but it lets you open this up to write in. So I'll make a note to try to do what's the word? I need pencils. Oh my goodness. I think my pencils is like going here. We need to do a wax seal button, and maybe yarn tie to close, right? Something like that. Wax seal button and yarn to tie close. Yeah, that gives me enough of a gist of it'll remind me enough of what I was thinking. Because don't you hate that? You have an idea and you don't have the time, and so you walk away and you come back and go, what was I going to do with that? Did that a few times, and I'm like, well, that's a whole new idea. So there we go. So I took a 4-flap envelope. We turned it into a, expanded writing area on one side, and a triangle tuck for a journal card on the other. And at any point, if you got this and you decide, it's not what you want, the tying part isn't going to interfere, but you could glue this and stick something in there. You could hide a journal card in there so you can pull it out, write on the journal card, tuck it back in, and be done with it. But if you like the idea of a little extra writing space, it is nice to have it as an open element. See, there we go. All right. And I think we're at, 58 minutes. So we are good and done, people. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for this craft and chat as we revisit this lovely Book Lovers journal kit. It is in my shop. Still, with a lot, and I still have some Christmas up and running. Christmas will be up till probably January 31st. And then all the Christmas stuff will be pulled, any extra fall that I wasn't doing. I normally keep the word sheets up because I know all year round we work on things, so I'll keep the word sheets up. But all the full journals will come down in January so that I can keep my cost to a minimum. You're always welcome to request something. If you saw a kit, you favored something, you can't find it, let me know. And I'm more than happy to put it up for 24 hours, especially if it's sort of sitting within my deactivated time frame. It's not going to cost me anything. I will, release something for 24 hours to let you purchase it if you need to, and then take it right back out of the store. I'm always okay to do that. So never be afraid to message me if you have a visual or a name and you're like, what happened to that kit? I will more than happy to, reactivate it for you. So here's our Book Lovers journal kit. I will put this direct link down below in my Show More or my Upside Down Triangle so you can see it. But it's a wonderful book. Someone who just loves books and florals and spring stuff and little Jane Austen feel. It's a great journal to make for any friend or family member. And then, of course, it can be great for reviewing books and recording what you love and watch and your goals for reading this year and all kinds of great ways to use it. So I hope you love it. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Julie with the Jewel Design. We will be back at it on Monday, hopefully working on some new fun ephemera for this kit or for this journal. We're using our scraps, our packaging, our journals, our coffee dyed pieces. We are going to get crafty with what we have on our desk and use up those scraps, because that is definitely something we all want to do this year, especially new year with all the projects. We sort of feel like we need to clean out what we used last year. So I really appreciate it. Love you all very much. So glad you joined me, and I hope to see you on the flip side. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.